Hi, this is Aaron Cook coming to you from Physical Therapy and Balance Center here in Mentor, Ohio. We're here today with episode 5 of our Help Yourself Learning series. Today we're doing 5 simple exercises to improve your balance. I always talk about how people believe that they cannot improve their balance, especially as they get older, but that's not the case. Balance is a skill and it can be learned just like everything else. So the types of exercises that we want to do to challenge balance are a little different than what you would do with traditional therapy. I always rant and rave about how balance doesn't equal strength. Strength training is a key feature of balance, but it's not the only way to improve balance. And if you're not trying some of these other techniques, you're missing a lot of the big picture. So that said, I want to get into 5 simple ones. I'm going to do two easy, 2 medium, and 1 hard. So these first 2 are going to be seated down. So these would be people that maybe have fallen in the last month or 2, still using a walker. I would start with these. We want to keep it safe first and foremost. With any of these, we always want you having a steady chair nearby, somebody standing with you. This is not something you want to try for the first time when you're home alone. Definitely want to be safety first. I'll edit that. Safety first. So first one that I'm going to have you do. So this is one of the most basic PT exercises. Anyone who's been in a therapy clinic has probably done these first 2, but I like to add a little twist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you just do some simple marching, nothing too fancy, but here's how we can make it become a balance challenge. Instead of just doing the marching, take your back off the back of the chair, try and scoot to the front. Get a little separation between your back and the back of the chair. And then try doing that. If that's still easy, what I want you to do is I want you to start closing your eyes. You want to keep your hands up, not holding on, with your eyes closed. This takes a simple strengthening exercise, and now it becomes a balance challenge. So then the next one is the same exact thing. Keep your back off the back of the chair, keep your eyes closed if you can, and just try some simple kickouts. So if I'm going more for strength, I'll do 10 together on one side. If I'm going more for balance, I'll alternate. So you'll notice with your eyes closed, you have to pay a lot more attention to how your body is balanced in space. Starts working on different systems of the brain. So we got 3 more that we're going to show you. I've watched a lot of exercise videos during my day, and one of my biggest complaints with exercise videos is the instructors always make it look too easy. So for these next 3, I'm going to show off on this red thing back here. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult for me. At home, I obviously want you doing this just on your regular floor, regular carpet. But I want to show you some of the challenges you may experience so we can walk through them together. All right, so I'm up here on our Shuttle Balance Pro. I wanted to show you guys some of these exercises on here. So I can show you how you would adjust and how you would accommodate when you start to lose your balance. So when I do these with you, you'll see me kind of grab and hold here. When you're at home, I would usually recommend holding on to the back of a chair or a countertop, something steady that you can hold on to. So the first one we're going to do is what I call single leg stance. So you would try and get one foot in the middle of your hands and try and just lift that one foot off. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to just gradually let go. Now on here, if I just kind of take both hands off, that's going to be a real challenge for me. So as you're doing this at home, that's going to be a lot of the challenges that you face. So what I'll tell people to do is sometimes just take one hand off. If that's okay, you can try switching, taking the other hand off. Usually one hand is going to be more difficult than the other. And then try and work up to going no hands. And at first when you try this, you're not going to be able to go more than a couple of seconds before you have to either put your foot down or try and hold on here. So the idea, I always use the analogy of it's like a bull rider. It's not about staying on that bull rider or on that bull indefinitely. It's about trying to build up and go as long as you can. Eventually you're gonna lose that balance, your body's gonna get tired, but the important thing is just building up that time. So I like the single leg stance, and if that's too easy, you can try throwing in a little bit of head motion. I like to get the head moving when I'm doing balance exercises. And you'll see how much I'm swaying. Just that little bit of head movement is enough to throw you off balance. But that's how you really train the balance system. If you never feel that feeling that, ooh, I might fall, then you're not challenging your balance system enough to improve your balance. So that being said, again, always want to be safe here. Always have somebody next to you. So next exercise, we did the single leg stance. Next one that I want to do, this one is more of a pure strengthening, but I would say this is the one strengthening exercise that I really like to start people with. So this is just a side kick, if you want to think about it that way. I always want to make sure my trunk is completely vertical. So this is strengthening a muscle called your gluteus medius, or your hip abductors. You'll notice I pointed to my right hip. So I'm lifting my left leg, but it's my right leg that's feeling this. And you'll notice the same. So this is about keeping this muscle active. This is so important for walking, especially if you're trying to get off a cane or off a walker. This muscle is extremely important. So then the last one is I'm going to have you do what's called a staggered stance. So it's not quite the full DUI tandem stance that people will do. This is more of a partial. I would try this here. Try and take your hands off, but keep them close to that counter or whatever you're holding on to, and then try closing your eyes. So with the eyes closed, this becomes a real challenge. So you'll notice sometimes you have to open your eyes. That's okay. Sometimes you got to put your hands down. That's okay. As long as you're staying safe, that's a good way to challenge your balance. I hope those exercises were helpful for you guys. If some of those easier ones were still very difficult, you may need a more nuanced approach. That would be a good time to call your doctor, give us a call, and we could certainly take a closer look at your balance, find other ways to help you. If you found some of those harder ones very easy, good, keep doing them. Even though they're easy, that's still a good way. Those are definitely some of the big foundations of balance that you want to maintain that moving forward. If those big ones, or if those more difficult ones were too easy and you still feel like you want to improve your balance, give us a call. We have a number of different ways that we can challenge your balance. There's a golden rule of therapy, which is never tell a physical therapist something's too easy, because there's an infinite number of ways for us to make it harder. So if you're looking for new ideas, or you just want to tune up your health, give us a call. I hope that helps.